Dean, it's first day of the Sebring Sport Aviation Expo. A lot going on, but as I understand it, the 912 IS has gotten its first upgrade. Tell us what happened.
Basically, over the last 2 years, because it was released about 2 years ago, when you got a new product, you're going to be going through the art process. All right, so they've had engineering on the engine the whole time. They haven't moved on to other projects. And so as information comes back from the field, they learn things, they've decided what they want to change, and they finally culminated all of it into one spot where they want to make a software update to the ECU, the engine control unit, and it's released now. I mean, just yesterday we started flashing a lot of the new aircraft that have this engine. What are they changing? A variety of things in the software. Some of the things had to do with, for instance, when it does a data fault. There's information coming in from a sensor or whatever. Some of those data faults would happen just because, okay, the voltage that it's generating on startup during the startup process isn't as high as the computer's looking for, so it flags that on a fault. Well, we don't want that in there. So they're figuring out timing things to say, okay, we're not even going to look at that until after this point in time, so we don't get the data fault. Another thing that happens, the engine is designed to be very clean, very efficient. So when the engine is sitting at idle, it's running really, really lean. I mean, if you look at the exhaust pipes of any of the engines out here, you'll find that they're very, very clean. Maybe a little bit of white dust, and that's it. It's because the engine is running really, really lean, especially at idle. But what that does now is that when you're sitting at idle, and on some airplanes, for instance, pusher aircraft that don't have a lot of air going through the radiator, the engine gets pretty warm pretty quick. So that's been a little bit of an issue for some airplanes. On the AirCam, we added an electric fan on the radiator to take care of that. So what they're going to do is, in this software update, they've designed it so that when the coolant temperature comes up to a certain level, they start richening the mixture at idle to keep the engine from warming up quite so much. There are other changes that they've made in the software, but those are a couple of the examples that people would really relate to and understand quickly.
What is involved in making this upgrade?
Basically, they have what's called the BUDS system. It's the BRP Utility and Diagnostic System. It's a software program that you can download from the factory website, and then you get a dongle that mates up to your computer, and then you can hook up to a data port on the ECU, and you can look at all the parameters. We even do data logging sometimes on engine runs that we're doing when we want to do troubleshooting or whatever. What they've done is they've delivered to us a new version of the software, and we use that BUD system. You fire up the ECU and you download the new software using the BUD system. We can do it both ways. We can just walk up to an airplane, hook up to the data port, turn on the power, and do it that way. Or if somebody isn't going to be at an air show, doesn't want to fly down here to our facility or someplace like that, they can pull the ECU, mail it to us. We have the equipment that we can just fire it up, put a power supply on it, do it right there on the bench, and send it back to them.
Doesn't sound like a real big deal.
Not a big deal at all. It's really pretty quick and painless.
How long does it take?
The longest part of it actually is downloading the data from the ECU, because when you do the new software, you're going to lose the fault logs that are already there. So you want to download those and make sure you've got them on file as a permanent part of the record for that particular engine. That's what takes the longest. It probably takes 5-10 minutes for that. The software itself takes less than 30 seconds.
Aero-TV is brought to you by
a real airplane, not just a toy. The Airplane Factory Sling is a high-performance two-place LSA that fits the needs of private individuals, flight schools, and flying clubs alike, and has been called one of the best handling LSAs on the market. Check it out at www.airplanefactory.com. Are you ready for the next generation of light sport airplanes? Check out the all-new Bristol. Fun, fast, and easy to fly. Learn more at www.bristol.com. Explore no-limits flying in the newly FAA-certified Sea Ray Elite Amphibious LSA. Progressive Aerodyne Sea Ray Elite with a Rotax 914 turbocharged engine is equally at home on the ground, in the air, or on the water. Check it out at www.searay.com.